Welcome back.
We are in a new filming location. You probably don't recognize it, but we've been really busy since the last time we talked with you.
We're really excited about this project. It's going to make life a lot more relaxing.
We are back at it again today with another project, and we're really excited about this one. We will be working on our patio on our house, and we're excited about this one because we really enjoy sitting outside this time of year. The weather has been really nice, and we really don't have an outdoor space at this point. If you'll remember, when we first bought the house, we had a patio out here, but the concrete was really broken up. It was almost dirt in some of the places just because of how damaged the concrete was. And the biggest issue and the main reason for us doing this project is because the concrete was not graded correctly. And anytime it rained, the water would sit and pool next to our house, and it was actually starting to go into the crawl space. So we're hoping that by regrading and pouring new concrete that is graded correctly, we will mitigate the water going into our crawl space, and we will have a really beautiful place to sit outside. So before we get started on the actual concrete patio part, we have to work on our stairs. Our current stairs go off of the landing to the patio, and since we need to work in this area, we'll have broken up concrete, dirt when it's being graded, and then we'll have to have time for the concrete to actually dry. So we need to have another option to get the dogs out into the backyard, which is what Matthew and I are tackling this morning. We are going to be building some stairs that go off of that landing into the backyard. So that's step number one. And then we also have some workers here today who will be helping us with the breaking up of concrete, grading, and pouring the new concrete.
We found the culprit. This is where the water's been getting into the crawl space. And originally we weren't planning to bust up the stairs, but we're really glad that we made that decision.
Exciting day. We have concrete on site. Unfortunately, we're going to have to barrel it in. Formed up. Site set.
Good morning. We are back at it today. So the concrete has dried. I'll show you in a second. And we are going to get to work on building a fence on top of the retaining wall and in the front of the house so that that space really connects to the backyard. We showed you early on when we were doing the fence project that we had installed a temporary fence in this section because we were still deciding kind of what we were going to do, and we didn't want to have to redo anything. So the temporary fence gave us time to figure things out. We landed on building a patio on this side of the house, and now we are going to complete fencing it in and get it all decorated and make it look really pretty. So, that's my favorite part of the project. I'm really excited for today. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of a preview of where we are, and then we'll get started. Here are the stairs that Matthew and I built a few days ago while the guys were working on the concrete. We installed, again, kind of moved our temporary fence to this section so that the dogs wouldn't escape. And then the railing that we took off of this side of the little porch area, we just moved over there temporarily to barricade them in. And this is what we'll be working on today. So the posts are set in the front. So we're going to be adding fence posts on top of the retaining wall. Unfortunately, we did not take this into account when we built this retaining wall and left the post long like we did on this portion. So we are having to work through that, but we have a plan. Here it is from the front of the house. We are going to be working on installing a privacy fence on this front part. And since we do not have we didn't leave the posts long, we didn't think that we would be doing this over here. And now that we are, we had to buy these brackets where it will support a 6x6 on top.
Finish that on the side then.
Yeah.
So if you want.
Okay, we'll look and see how it looks. But I think because this one is further in, right? Like, I just think it's gonna look weird because because of the step, like you can't really put it exactly. I don't know. I guess I'm tracking.
We'll have to create a shim on this corner.
I'm tracking. So I just tell Matthew what I want and he figures out how to do it, and then he has to explain to me how we're doing it.
So, Skylar went to the store to change out some brackets. She decided she wanted a different style of post. Honestly, I'm actually grateful she did. It's going to make it a lot easier, and I do actually think it's going to turn out a little bit better. I think it's going to make for a better finished quality at the end of the day. So the new plan is to build more of these posts on top of those posts, and then the face of the board will fall right on the inside edge of that railroad tie. We were originally planning to build a wall on top of the fence, and you would have ended up having just the little stubs of the retaining wall supports, which might look a little weird. I think overall it's just gonna be stronger and better. So, well, that changes a lot of things. We went ahead and took down the old temporary fence that lasted way longer than we thought it was, and I love it already.
Me too. So now we're gonna do the posts, get those set, and then start doing the slats for the privacy fence.
Yep.
we're ready to start putting the boards on. The vision is coming to life and I'm loving it already. So what we're doing right now is that we're doing horizontal boards. So we want the boards to be the same all the way around, like look like one continuous line. And the retaining wall has a few different kind of levels to it. So what we're going to do is going to start at the highest point, put a row all the way around at that height, and then start filling in underneath, and then we'll cut the board as needed if it's a little bit smaller gap at the bottom. So we think it'll work. Here we go. So the camera died at the very end of the day when we were filming this building of this wall, and we didn't get to show you how we did this end section. So I'm going to show you now because we had to do it a little bit differently because of the well house. So you'll see the post at the end is short because of the well house. So in order to do the slats across the top, we actually did a post back behind the retaining wall that is attached to the base of the retaining wall with a different bracket, and then we were able to just close this gap with a single board, so that way our yard is secure and little Oscar can't squeeze through there. Hey everyone, I am hanging out with my grandma today. Say hello to Guy. So Matthew is at our house finishing up the gate for the patio, and I'm just over here with Guy and my mom's dogs. My mom went out of town, so we're just hanging out, and Guy and I are gonna have some slumber parties this week and hang out with these cute little puppies of my mom's. So I think you've met Molly because she stayed with us, but this is the newest member of the family. This is Gracie, and she is just so cute. So we'll show you the progress on the patio in a little while.
Welcome back. It's another day, same project, but what we're working on today is we're building a gate. And I know what you're thinking. It's a weird looking gate. So I actually went to YouTube University on this one. Ended up looking at a whole bunch of people much more skilled, professional than me. And they actually said that when you're building a horizontal gate, this is the best way to do it. Put your horizontal beams in place, build your verticals, put in your compression beam, and it should be quick. Make it seem so easy. Well, let's find out how easy it is. All right, that's the outside frame. Now, this is not a how-to. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just YouTube University doing a little teaching. You'll see I left gaps. Now, that's because we're going to cut those sides short once we get the hinges and everything on. This is going to hinge from this side, so there's a 1/2 inch gap left here, and we left a 1 inch gap here to allow for the hardware to fall in. So when this is all said and done, hinges are on, we'll take the screws out, cut that, and that's apparently how you build a gate in place. That's called a compression brace. That way, your gate doesn't sag. It always, top point is furthest point away from your hinges. Bottom point, closest to your hinges. Time to close it in. Skylar dropped off a Sonic slushie. Grape with nerds. I'm a child. It's so good. Oh. Forgot y'all were over here. As you can see, we went ahead and faced the whole gate. We did a face trim because that's where the hinges are going, and we did the same side right next to it. And I filled in the bottom gap there just so it looks really, really nice. Now it's the fun part, making it actually a gate. I'm pretty proud of that gate.
Hi! So we are doing our first little chill session on the patio, and I am absolutely loving it. Matthew is such a champion for finishing while I was at Gee's house. I've just spent one night with her, and I'll spend the next several nights with her while my mom is wrapping up her vacation. But he finished the gate. It is like masterfully built, and then he also work to build the stairs off of the landing, and then working on the railing. So I mean, really, he is doing all the final detail touches, which he is so good at. We're really excited with how the patio turned out. I came home just to see the progress that he made and to hang out. We're having lunch out here. Matthew just wrapped up the day. The railings aren't finished, but I told him that, you know, he was getting frustrated with himself, and I said that it looks amazing. He is his own worst critic, and he needs to have a little bit of grace for himself. So we're just hanging out here on the patio. The dogs seem to like it.
Big guy. You're gonna get awfully toasty right there.
This is what Oscar does outside. He wallers. You got static beard. Static beard. Yeah. Good boy. Oh. And we'll probably be out here for a few hours just chilling. So we'll give you a before and after little tour of the patio just to remind you how terrible it was before and how wonderful it is now. Thanks for coming along with us. See you next time.